Well, hello guys, it's your boy Dark Raikou here. Or, well, let me say that again. Sup you chocolate fucks, it's your boy Dark Raikou here with What If Issei Became a Monster? Yeah, part 1. Or part 1 shot? Maybe. Maybe I continue on, maybe not. But I don't care. So, now you're all wondering, where's the other what ifs? Why are you going on with another one shot, or probably a part this time? Not the point. Well, to answer your question is, I don't know. I just feel like it. Also, fucking bug. Wow. Get the fuck out of here, you stupid bug. Not the point. Now, Issei. Well, no, let me. Okay, sorry for I accidentally no, I was trying to kill a bug and yeah, found it and I found it fucking killed it. Not the point. Questions I don't really want to answer, so fuck it. So let me just begin into this what if, and other than that, yeah. So we begin into mostly the ORC after the whole Chaos Brigade, mostly after the hero faction attacking Kyo. Now, something different might have changed during the fight between Kyo. Now, instead of mostly Cao seeing that whole Oppai dragon power up, instead of seeing that, he saw a pure, terrifying, sight of, a human moment, like a human moment of monster from Issei. Now, Issei, when he was actually out of the sacred gear, when he actually was about to fall unconscious, mostly when he fell unconscious, and of course Azia, who was also unconscious. Yes, everyone was unconscious except for mostly Vilcha fighting against mostly the control mind of mostly what was her name? What was her goddamn name? Fuck. How the fuck? Mostly the Ninjas. Okay, I forgot her name. Yakuza. Yeah, Yakuza. Now, of course, with all that happening, this is where the Chaos Brigade was about to win because they just all had to just knock out what's it called, the Viltra. Well, yeah, Viltra's kind of host, and of course now they can probably get the what's it called, Great Red, and of course pierce him with the spear this time to actually win, or not this time, mostly in this moment, but mostly when something happens. When Hercules turns around to see Hercules turns around to see Issei. He doesn't see Issei's body, no more laying down on the ground. He doesn't even have the red dragon armor on at all. Instead, his hair for some reason turned almost white and then red, and then actually turned galaxy for a second. This is where, well, in that galaxy second of a moment seeing this, Hercules, that one sword dude that has like a bunch of swords, sacred gear, whatever bullshit, like he has multiple arms. I think his name was Sergfried or something like that. Of course, then that girl named Gina, I think that's her name, and of course, mostly, who else was there? I forgot. Oh yeah, that other magical guy, whatever. And also mostly Cao. They all got instantly knocked out, or mostly Cao was actually kicking the stomach so damn hard that he was launched into mostly mountainside wall. This is where he coughed up some blood and was confused. He then sees Issei. Issei's eyes were completely bloodshot for a second. Now, he doesn't understand what's happening. This is where, Issei says, "You damn heroes." He said it in such a deep, menacing, hatred tone to heroes. It doesn't even sound just like the same as mostly Issei, the one that he was fighting a while ago. Issei didn't have any malice or hatred towards heroes, but this side of Issei seems to hate heroes, and possibly a lot. This is where, Cao gets up and tries to use the spear to try to attack Issei, but mostly the spear was blocked, and then decided to mostly the attack was still going, but instead of being blocked, it actually got directed somewhere else, which Cao went in his eyes until his body got hit with multiple attacks, and he couldn't even react fast enough. This is where he passes out. This is where the unknown figure who was actually taking control of Issei goes back to the unconscious spot where Issei was at and just falls over. Now, when mostly the backup came, mostly the Wukong and mostly the other Dragon King came to stop Yakuza, mostly the Monkey King was confused to see mostly the children from Kuwo knocked out, but also the Chaos Brigade members being Cao and the others already knocked out. Cao Cao doesn't even know what the fuck happened. Now, his spear could not react fast enough to the attacks of mostly this person. He doesn't even know what the fuck he even got hit by. But that's not the point. Mostly after the whole event happening, everything just went back to kind of original canon, similar to the same. But we go into that day, or mostly the day, where mostly Issei supposedly has to confess towards Rias. Now, we go on that day. Before anything happened, mostly after Rabel kind of like talking towards her mother and other stuff, before Rias gets to ask mostly Issei for something. Now, of course, mostly that one event where Issei didn't take advantage with Rias to kind of have fun, and the fact called her still president, that fucked up, that blah 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 whatever, instead of calling her Rias. Yeah, that she's still very angry at that. But this is where, well, someone actually came into the, what's it called, ORC, and it was a boy that was quite handsome. And this is where it made every girl kind of look at this person. Now, it isn't Kiba, because Kiba is also there, and Kiba is just like kind of like cleaning something. Mostly cleaning one of his swords, but yeah. Because he knows about the raiding game coming up. And Issei was also thinking of training so he can fight against Sairaorg. He wasn't actually thinking about love for the first time. He was actually thinking of training. Now, he was going to ask Kiba and to train, but mostly this pretty boy came out of nowhere. This person had goldenish blonde hair, much more like darker, kind of golden colored than Kiba's. Because I think in the anime, the new version, I think they kind of changed it to a lighter kind of blonde. But in this, well, this guy is mostly, this person is not Kiba, but yeah. But mostly this person had gold, like a dark golden kind of color. Now, it was kind of close to being dirty blonde, but not really. Now, he had also these, what's it called, well, violet kind of purple eyes. He also kind of had like this black, mostly like a black kind of suit, somewhat. Now, this person has not really an arrogant ass look, but mostly he had kind of like a smug ass look somewhat. Now, with that happening, this person also, I should mention, yes, he was handsome as hell. Every girl in the whole ORC kind of looked towards him, even Akano. Now, Akano know who exactly this person is. Now, we go into Rias. Rias kind of says, oh, Arthur. No, I'm not talking about the Arthur from mostly Volley's team. No, that's not that Arthur. It's a different Arthur. But Arthur kind of, this is the person named Arthur. Or, should I call him Arthur? Or, nah. You know, I'm going to call him Noah instead. So, Rias says, oh, Noah. This is where Noah says, oh, Rias. I'm sorry if this was a bad time to intervene with any of that of your, well, club. This is where, well, Rias says, no, it's fine. This is where, well, she goes up to him and kind of grabs his arm and kind of just smiles at him with a very friendly kind of smile, cheerful and other things, which kind of gets Issei kind of weirded out for a second. This is where, well, mostly Akano also does hold on to mostly Noah's other hand and says, we're glad to see you, Noah. This is where, well, the other girls were confused, but even Ralph, who was just there confused, kind of seeing this. Even Kiba and Gasper were just kind of dumbfounded and even confused, or like, what the hell is happening? This is where, well, mostly Gasper whispered towards Kiba saying, I thought, what is actually happening? This is where, well, Kiba says, don't know. This is where, well, Issei's confused. Who the hell is this guy? This is where he then thinks maybe it's Kiba's older brother, because this motherfucker does look like Kiba, but different. This is where, well, the person that had kind of glasses, well, he, not glasses, he kind of had what's it called, like, well, yes, he did kind of have glasses, but yeah. But it's not Arthur from what's it called, mostly Volley's team. His name is Noah. I'm going to change it because I'm going to get confused from Arthur and Arthur. But not the point. Now, Noah kind of just says, so, Rias-chan, or mostly Rias-san, are we still going to go on that whole date? This is where Rias said, oh yes, of course we're still going on that date, darling. Now, everyone's confused, and Issei's eyes was shadowed by his mostly like head. Now, of course, there's also one thing I should also mention. Drake in this one is kind of going not to be a male but a female. Now, Drake inside of Issei was going, God damn, this man's handsome. This is where, well, Drake was going into blah, blah, blah. And kind of having hearts in her eyes. And yeah, mostly looking at mostly the boy that's supposedly dating Rias. This is where, well, Issei felt kind of betrayed. For only a couple of reasons. Because mostly, even though he never did admit it that he wanted to the car to mostly date Rias and other things, he did kind of admit some of his feelings, someone to protect her, sacrifice an arm, blah, 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 blah. But it also feels Drake's emotions of, like, liking this boy. Now, of course, Issei feels kind of betrayed because, well, first of all, why is Drake feeling emotions? Because Issei thinks that Drake is a dude, not a girl. But yeah. Of course, where, well, Drake is kind of amazed for this guy, and this is where, well, Issei is confused. He feels like Drake is trying to leave his body to go to this person, which Issei feels even more betrayed. His corrupt pieces are actually, mostly the 8 palm pieces, are actually becoming corrupt and an insane because he sees Akano and a bunch of other girls kind of just looking at him. Even his childhood friend is having arson looking at this person. Now, of course, where, well, Issei feels kind of betrayed a little bit, but more, just like feeling more betrayed. Also, he kind of has Dragonfall, like it instantly kind of popped up, which mostly Drake didn't notice this, but did actually notice after a while. Mostly Dragonfall is kind of increasing, and of course, kind of making Issei's body hurt a little bit, because Issei started feeling his body hurting a lot, but mostly he felt rage and annoyment. He then kind of just didn't know what to do. This is where, well, mostly, Ria said, okay, everyone, I will have to leave with mostly Noah, my boyfriend. Or mostly, she didn't say boyfriend, but mostly leave with him on a date. But yeah, and this is where, well, Issei kind of just had his eyes still shadowed by his hair. And this is where Noah kind of says, oh, I forgot to mention myself. My name is Noah, Noah Crows. I'm just going to call him something random. I don't know what to call him. Golden Boy. You know what? Okay, just think of Golden in Japanese and just kind of put that as his last name. Okay, fuck it. I don't know what to give him as a last name. Now, of course, well, Noah kind of says that, and this is where he then kind of looks at everyone with a very charming, kind of like friendly smile, and then looks at Issei with kind of a disgusted look because he knows about Issei's perverted antics, which Issei kind of notices and kind of flinch a little bit, but then actually narrow his eyes. They become yellow for a second, but then go back to goldenish, kind of brown, or mostly brownish color, but yeah, chocolate brown. This is where, well, mostly he still feels Drake is still having heart and looking at mostly, well, the pretty boy, until Issei just decided to stab. He didn't care anymore. His mostly left arm actually started glowing with the greenish color, being the boosted gear. Yeah, the sacred boosted gear. And this is where Issei decides to grab all of Drake's powers, mostly all of the energy from Drake, even Drake himself, or mostly herself. This is where Drake was confused, but now notice the dragon's fall, and this is where mostly she just said, wait, Issei, don't attack him. This is where, well, mostly Issei punches mostly Noah in the stomach so hard, but that wasn't just a punch, no. Instead, Issei decides to get rid of all the sacred gear power, mostly the sacred gear itself, mostly also the dragon's arm, out of his body, getting all of it and just like throwing it into Noah's body, which Noah was confused. This is where he falls down and was confused. Ria's kind of screaming at Issei, but this is where she noticed the dragon's arm is gone, being the boosted gear, and this is where Noah's kind of left arm actually appears the boosted gear. Now, of course, this is where he's confused and say, what is this? This is where Rias is confused. She's shocked. She didn't actually expected this. Now everyone is shocked and dumbfounded. Even Rossawise, which she was seeing this and just kind of disgusted the fact that mostly Ria's kind of just blatantly kind of admitted that she's kind of cheating on Issei with another man. And the fact that Rossawise also does note that they're supposed to be engaged, mostly Issei and Rias, by the parents of Rias, but yeah. But of course she was shocked to believe Issei literally gave his sacred gear away. Now, of course, he still has Dragonfall, but Issei didn't care. Issei just walked away, stomping his feet on the ground and just walking away. Rias kind of screams out Issei's name, and Issei says, shut the hell up. Issei turns back around, his eyes were yellow, and his hair, for some reason, kind of flashed to be white in an instant, and becoming spiked in an instant, but of course, it just went back to brown, and of course, his hair fell down. Issei opens the door, shut it so fast that he didn't care if he shattered the door in an instant. His strength, his power. In entirety, it went back to being a normal kind of human slash devil. But he also did get rid of the demonic power from his body. He still has the evil pieces. He got rid of all the demonic magic, all the dragon magic, and everything into this person's body. He didn't care. This person can be a demon for him. All he can goddamn care. Like, he doesn't give a damn no more. But this is where Issei leaves. He leaves and just runs off to a cave. Now, of course, Drake is stuck into Noah's body. Now, of course, this is where Drake and Noah kind of just met each other. Now, Drake is shocked. She is shocked to believe that Issei just completely just threw her into another person's body. She wasn't even expecting this. Actually, there's no actual way to throw another sacred gear into another person's body unless they steal it and gave it to that person. But still, she was confused in how that happened. Now, she's extremely worried because mostly Issei has Dragon's Fall and the evil pieces being corrupted. So yeah. Also, Issei said that he didn't give a damn and he'd rather become a stray than actually be with any of these people. Yeah, he completely just told them to fuck off from his life. But we go into Issei's POV. He's right now in a cave, right now crying. His body feels so weak. Mostly the muscles that he should have had became kind of weak and kind of skinny instead. This is where his hair started becoming grayish, his eyes actually became dullish gray. And this is where, well, he says, well, mostly like a dullish, well, palish, kind of brownish color, like a lightish brownish color. This is where Issei is crying, but of course he's not crying tears, like watery tears. No, they're blood tears. This is where Issei is sad and hatred, malice, everything is inside his body, and he's just hating it. Hating everything. He didn't even know about this. If Rios wanted to go date someone else, he would have been fine with it. But the reason why they're kind of engaged and he sacrificed a lot of stuff, she should have just told him that she wanted to go out with someone else. Because he can remember the other day that mostly Reyes wanted to try to F him. But he was confused when he saw that boy, because it hasn't been like a week or any of that after that situation. It's been only a day and a half. Meaning that Noah actually might have had it to came into their life earlier, but he doesn't know when. Now, of course, he doesn't care. He doesn't care about no damn prey boy or anything. He doesn't even care that he basically threw his sacred gear into this person's body. He did it at an instant. He hated everything. He hated the fact that Drake actually wanted to be with that person. So, of course, he actually felt the feelings of Drake. So, of course, he just like threw Drake into that person. He didn't give a damn. Now, we go into mostly the POV of mostly Noah and mostly Drake. Now, Drake is kind of getting out of the boosted, well, he's in the boosted gear. Now, actually in the boosted gear, not in the, what's it called? Mostly lock state being in the twice critical. He's actually in the boosted gear with Noah. It seems Noah's a little bit much stronger than Issei in the beginning with. But this is where Drake was about to say something until Reyes kind of was going to say something also. But this is where, well, Rasta Wise decides to stop them from actually doing anything, but just because she doesn't want the situation to go any worse. This is where she was about to call, well, mostly Azo, but Drake decided to intervene and actually shutting them all up. This is where she says, because now in her kind of female voice, because Drake is a female in this one, the only reason I decided to put that into female is because betrayment. Yes. Not the point. Mostly, she says that mostly, well, she's a female, but not the point. She then says that Issei has Dragon's Fall and also the evil pieces corrupting his body. He won't last any longer and would die. He also doesn't have the demonic magic because he actually also forces demonic magic upon mostly, well, Noah here. Also, mostly he also forced the Grammary crest to be on him, making him a magicless human right now. Yes, Issei is magicless. He actually has no magic. From the beginning, he didn't really have magic. It was small bits, but he just like sent all his magic into this person. So the little bit of fragments of magic he had, he just threw it upon this person. Now, I should mention why I'm gonna. Well, there's something else that he's going to get. It's going to be much more powerful than magic itself. Not the point. I'll mention that later, but not that. Blah blah blah. But we go into mostly Drake kind of saying that he's a magicless human. He's going to die in a couple of hours. He doesn't know how long those couple of hours it will be for Issei. But yeah, Russell Weiss was horrified. Of course, this is where she called upon Azo. But Azo was too busy doing something else. Russell Weiss decides to try to call Sir Sex. But yeah. Now, we go into the POV of mostly like 2 hours of Issei non-stopping crying. Blood tears like falling down his face. He feels so worse. He feels like he's gonna die any second. This is where, well, his vision is getting blurry. His body is becoming much more paler and weaker. And this is where he just says, oh, wow, this is how I'm gonna die. Well, then again, I guess I don't mind dying. I guess everyone really didn't care about me. I am a pervert, right? Maybe if I had one chance, maybe to become stronger. I'm not good in magic. I'm not good at using my sacred gear. I guess the only thing I'm good at is my small bit of taijutsu that I know. Yes, he knows a little bit about small bit of taijutsu knowledge, but of course he never uses it in battle because he'd rather be a brawler or someone. Because it doesn't look that great for him to kind of be using taijutsu, because everyone knows him as a brawler instead. But this is where, well, Issei feels so weak and so tired. This is where he's about to close his eyes until someone actually appears right in front of him. This is where the person says, hey, you're gonna just sit there and die or what? This is where, well, Issei opened his eyes, one of his eyes, his palish kind of lightish brown eyes. Issei says, who are you? Issei said, with a broken kind of like mostly language. This is where the person says, who am I? I'm you, and you're me. I guess you can say I'm your inner self. Not really. You're basically my incarnation, brat. This is where, well, Issei chuckles and says, well, not incarnation, reincarnation, dumbass. This is where, well, Issei chuckles and says, really? I guess your reincarnation's gonna die. I guess you're gonna have to go find someone else. Yeah, that's not happening, the person says, with a very annoyed tone. I'm not letting you die. Actually, you're not going to die. No, I'm going to give you a different goal in life. Instead of, well, just dying and becoming the weakling pervert that you were. How about instead of dying, you become a great menace to society? What are you talking about, implying? How about you become a monster? Well, a monster of pure martial arts and the flow of energy. This is where Issei opened his eyes and said, what are you? This is where the person became mostly now visible a little bit more. This person has whitish kind of grayish hair, but mostly whitish hair. Goldenish kind of yellow eyes. And of course, this is where he's wearing like a, not tank top, it's mostly like a black long sleeve, black, or not black pants, mostly white kind of pants, like white baggy pants, and black slip-on shoes. This is where, well, the person seems to be like an athlete built, like he's really fucking built, but mostly not that built. He's like built lean somewhat, but not, it's kind of like a medium built, but still he is quite strong for mostly human somewhat. He has this weird energy that he's quite powerful, like somewhat galaxy particles appearing but disappearing also. So where Issei says, who are you? Well, I'll tell you my name if you don't give up on life. Instead of giving up on life, you instead break through your limits, surpassing everything, and becoming stronger through the power of mostly not giving the fuck up, kid. Just break your limits through death. This is where Issei started kind of feeling motivated a little bit, and this is where he started kind of getting up. This is where he feels his whole body like being so much pain, and other than that, this is where he coughed up a little bit of blood, but Issei doesn't care. Issei says, there, tell me your name now. This is what Issei said, with such a very kind of, like he's panting a little bit. This is where the person smiles, saying, the name? Well, you can call me. This is where, well, the person says, the name is Garou. This is where, well, Issei says, Garou? This is where for some reason he has flashbacks and memories actually going through his body. Mostly not body through his mind, but also through his body kind of comes instincts, like instincts to fight, to become stronger, to know, well, mostly to fight for those who can't fight, the underdogs. This is where, well, Issei mostly closes his eyes and reopens him, no longer being a lightish pale brown color and being kind of dead. It now has a determination look, having furious yellow eyes actually appeared. His hair, instead of being a lightish brown color, completely changes to white and has the spike kind of symbol, yeah, similar to that of God. Don't worry about that. But this is where, well, he also has a very kind of like instinct to like have the flowing technique and other stuff. But this is where, well, Issei kind of just looks at Garou with an understanding statement, and this is where, well, Issei said, I will become the strongest, even if I have to become a monster. This is where Garou smiles and says, good, then let's start this. This is where, well, we go into mostly a time skip of 3 months later. Now, those 3 months later kind of happens to be the battle between Sairaorg and Rias. Now, Rias loses really fucking bad. Now, what I mean about losing really fucking bad is she doesn't really have the Red Dragon Emperor no more, making her one of the, well, not weakest, but still just like meh. Well, she no longer has Issei, so of course, when people kind of were asking for Issei-san and the fact if they're still going out and blah blah blah, she didn't know how to say any of this. She couldn't really tell them about mostly her new pawn. And mostly, she couldn't tell her brother about the new pawn and mostly other things. But mostly, who did get told about this was not because Rias had to tell this person. It's because Russell Weiss did tell this person. And that was none other, well, her brother does know about Issei's death and other than that. And of course, knows about the new Red Dragon Emperor being Noah, but yeah. So of course, that's the thing. But of course, Rias doesn't really want to mention about that. They're basically dating. Now, who knows about the truth and other shit and other stuff is mostly Azo. Now, Azo is pretty fucking furious. The fact that mostly Noah is supposed to be the new boyfriend and probably someone that was supposedly replaced Issei when mostly Rias probably graduated or something. Now, of course, he's furious the fact that mostly Rias would have just blatantly kind of cheat on Issei. Now, of course, all the other girls might have also probably done the exact same thing in the near future if Issei didn't disappear and probably died somewhere. Thanks to also mostly Drake telling, well, what's it called, Azo about Dragon's Fall and also the evil pieces. But mostly Noah's now the somewhat new pawn piece of Rias, but mostly because it has a trace of magic. But no, he doesn't have them physically in his body. But yeah, he's half demon and half dragon now. But yeah, and human, whatever. But he also had a sacred gear for himself. But yeah, mostly Noah. It wasn't powerful to be a Longitis, but still powerful enough. Now, I won't mention about his sacred gear, but I probably won't. Probably it's not fucking necessary or carrying that much. But I will probably mention it. Now, his sacred gear was considered to be not a Longitis itself, but it was it's called now the sacred gear that he had was called Fairy. It wasn't a Longitis or any of that, because there's actually other type of people that can actually have Fairy, but this one had a specific type of Fairy. It was called Wind Fairy, which mostly this Wind Fairy actually is powerful enough to control wind. But yeah. Now, of course, that's what this person had. It's someone's sacred gear, a live sacred gear, someone. But yeah. Now, this is where, well, the person is right now fighting against Sairaorg. And since this person doesn't know about Carnage Crimson or whatever the hell that Issei had in original canon to fight against, mostly Sairaorg, mostly this person only has Scale Mount and Wind Control. Now, he got instantly just absolute wrecked by Sairaorg because Sairaorg is just brutal, like physical power, just over the charts. But yeah, and beat the shit out of this person with the charts. But yeah, like literally grabbed the charts and just started whacking this person. Now, of course, Sairaorg was very disappointed in the fact that the old Red Dragon Emperor died. He didn't even know how he died, but he started just discouraging how Issei kind of died and other than that, which Rias kind of felt sad somewhat. But of course, she also felt bad more for Noah because he literally just got his ass kicked. Now, of course, Ria's lost, but this is where, well, we go into guards getting their asses kicked and right now pushed out of the fucking way. He used to say, move out of my way, you weaklings. This is where, well, the person was just easily beating the shit out of all of them. He had 10 skins and of course, he looked to be ripped. He had a black long sleeve. Of course, having like white kind of pants, like white kind of like saggy pants. Well, kind of like, yeah, you get the point. Kind of baggy pants, not saggy, baggy pants. And of course, well, he also kind of wears some black like slippers, but yeah, like black shoe slippers. And this is where he's walking right now through mostly the crowd and getting towards mostly the arena. Now, the arena, the Sir Orcus appear being the winner. Of course, as a group was kind of happy to see Sir Orcus might be promoted to a high-ranking devil now, instead of being, a low-ranking devil or whatever. But this is where, well, before anything happens, this is where someone kind of jumped into the battlefield. Of course, Reyes and mostly the Noah person leaves, but this is where Issei landed down in front of Sir Orcus, and Issei said, "I want to challenge you to a battle." Sir Orcus san. This is where, well, Sir Orcus kind of smiles and says, "Oh, so I guess I'll be fighting against you." Now, this is where everyone's confused and saying, "Is there another battle happening?" This is where Noble says, "Nah, fuck it, I don't care. Like, let him fucking fight. I don't give a damn." This is where, well, mostly Sir Zax is confused, but also, well, Azo and other people. Now, right now, well, some people who are actually watching this through mostly Magic transmission, just because it's a very popular rating games battle. Now, of course, the hero faction was confused to see the new Red Dragon Emperor. Even Volley's team is very confused because Volley himself, or herself mostly, because I'm going to change Volley to a girl. But mostly, she was surprised to see mostly the new Red Dragon Emperor no longer being Issei. But of course, this new opponent has appeared to fight against Sir Orcus. Now, this is where Issei said, "I'm fighting for all underdogs, and I will be able to fight when I fight you." This is where Issei says, now, what am I going to fuck, I'm going on randomly. Issei kind of just looks at Sir Orcus and says, "So, do you accept my challenge?" This is where Sir Orcus nodded and said, "Of course I accept your challenge." I guess fighting against someone like Reyes wasn't too much of a battle, but I hope you put up more of a chance of a battle. Now, of course, this is where his pawn is still with him, mostly Sir Orcus being the Sacred Gear. Now, of course, the Sacred Gear is kind of like looking at this battle, but of course, looking at mostly this new person strangely. This person has an aura of mostly determination, the will to fight, the power, mostly a lot of raw power probably behind him. This is where, well, Sir Orcus kind of just gets ready and says, "Bring it!" Now, of course, both Issei and Sir Orcus were teleported to mostly the rating games dimension, whatever. And this is where people are just kind of curious in who exactly this person is. Now, he doesn't seem to be a high-ranking devil. Actually, they don't even feel magic from him. Actually, everyone is actually really fucking confused because mostly they don't feel magic. He feels magicless. But also, he feels like he has lots of raw strength behind him. Now, this is where Sir Orcus says, "So, before we continue on with our battle, tell me the name of the challenger that I'll be fighting." Issei chuckles and smiles and says, "Oh, you want to know my name? Well, Sir Orcus-san, you can call me, well, my old name. My new name I'll tell you. But my old name used to be Issei Haidu, or mostly Issei Hyodo." This is where Sir Orcus widened his eyes. Everyone who was actually watching this widened their eyes. This is where, well, Valerie grabs the fucking magic, like TV, whatever, said, "What?" This is where, well, she was screaming into the fucking screen. Of course, there were Biku, Arthur, and even Kuroka just almost jumps out of mostly their kind of clothing. Even LaFay. But yeah, even, Orpheus was pretty shocked because, well, Orpheus was seeing this and just watched it because she was just bored. And, of course, having the emotional look. But this is where she was very shocked to hear, Valerie scream so loud that it probably broke the sound barrier. But, yeah. Now, of course, this is where, well, we'll see the hero faction. We go into the hero faction. And Cao says, "What the fuck? That's Issei? No! Then again, he at least left the devils. So I give him a good fucking props, but still, that's easy? Holy fuck! This is where, well, everyone's just looking at Cao Cao and saying, yeah? I mean, he left those damn demons for good, which that's a good thing. I mean, he doesn't have the Red Dragon Emperor power. How is he gonna be fighting Sairaorg? Cao Cao says, I have no fucking clue, but still, he left those damn demons. Never came back, and he was supposed to be dead. Did he come back from the dead? This is where, well, Cao Cao said, this is where some of them said, I don't fucking know. Who the fuck are you looking at us? Now, of course, where, well, Sairaorg winds his eyes and says, you're Issei Hiro? But I heard you died. Issei says, oh yes, I died. Well, not technically. I didn't die. I instead trained my body like hell. And decides to just go to vigorously, mostly just training. That hurted my body every day I train. You see here, this body that I have hurts like hell every day. Thanks to the evil pieces and also Dragon's Fall. But yet, even though I was every single day at the verge of death, I never decided to give up. You know why? Because I want to fight you, Sairaorg. I heard you trying so hard to become the most powerful, and that's why I wanted to actually do the exact same. To see who is stronger, a human who is near death every day, versus someone who is a devil, but yet has the power of destruction with his fists and trained every single day since birth. And is quite alive with his body never hurting that much. Tell me, Sairaorg, who do you think will win? This is where, well, Issei has such a sinister grin on his face. This is where, well, Sairaorg was surprised. Everyone's surprised hearing Issei literally say that his body is always at the brink of death. Now, even Hades was saying, hold the fuck up. What? This is where Zeus and even, what's it called, Poseidon was looking at Hades. Hades says, he's actually telling the truth. This is where Hades said. This is where Zeus and Poseidon are kind of shocked to believe a human. No longer a devil, no longer having magic. At the break of fucking death. His body's at the break of death. Literally dying every second, but yet not dying. This is where Hades says, now that's some fucking bullcrap. This is where, well, Poseidon and Zeus says, are you okay, Hades? No, he should have died. No, there's something that might change him. What the hell is happening? This is where, well, Hades is so confused. This is where, well, he's actually thinking of actually intervening here and actually stopping this whole battle and actually killing Issei himself. But this is where, well, he decides to just let it pull off because maybe Sairaorg would kill him and he would not take the soul of Issei. This is where, well, Sairaorg was confused, but this is where Issei continued on. But that's not all. I might be a human, but I will not die here. Because listen where, well, he said, I'll become a monster instead of a human. I'll surpass my limits to the death. Well, mostly through death. I'll break all my limiters and show everyone the human race is the most strongest in the entire existence. Issei screams out loud, right now giving every like half devil who was incarnated hope. Like, what the fuck? Like, his speech is like powerful as hell. Now, this is where, well, Sairaorg was surprised and then smiles and says, okay, Issei. So, we're going to fight. Well, let's do this. Both Issei and Sairaorg rushes at each other and right now punching each other. This is where when both punches collided to each other's face, Issei gets pushed back while Sairaorg felt like his jaw almost shattered. This is where he is shocked to believe Issei has this much power for being a human. And Issei didn't die. He instead, both Sairaorg and Issei started swinging fists so fast that no one could keep eyes for a second. Think of it like Dragon Ball Z fights. Da, 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 da. Doesn't work well. Both of them are just fucking swinging like fists, like sending fists, right fist, left fist, just in high speeds, breaking the sound barrier. This is where everyone is shocked to believe a human is keeping up with Sairaorg. This is where Sairaorg sent a powerful swing towards Issei's face. Right now colliding with Issei's face, right now punching him down to the ground. But Issei sends a powerful kick towards Sairaorg's chin, right now launching his ass up. This is where, well, both of them are right now on the kind of mostly, well, not really in defense, they're both on offense. Now their fucking attacks are crazy as hell. This is where, well, Hades himself is saying, what the fuck? Hold the fuck up. He ain't dying. What the fuck is this? This is where Zeus and Poseidon says, the will of human, I guess. This motherfucker felt like he's strong as hell. Those punches might be hurting that devil. This is where everyone is seeing this battle. It's crazy as hell. This is where Sairaorg, Issei are punching the shit out of each other. Like, they basically are bloody as hell. This is where, well, Issei's eyes did become bloodshot for a second. Mostly one of his eyes become bloodshot. And his hair actually started becoming orangey red. And Issei kind of, well, not orangey red just yet. Don't worry about that. Mostly, it started kind of becoming orangey red thanks to blood kind of falling down on his face. Or from his face towards his hair. And of course, Issei just wiped it off, becoming now orangey red. Issei said, "I'll become a monster. I'll fight you, Sairaorg. Show me what you can do." This is where, well, both of their punches collided with each other. And of course, this is where Sairaorg was actually pushed back instead of Issei. Issei was still standing there. Issei was smiling with such a sinister grin. This is where Sairaorg is pushed back. And this is where, well, mostly the Sacred Gear kind of goes to Sairaorg and says, "Master, you should just put me on. I will help you fight." This is what Sairaorg says, "No, I want to fight him with all my power. It's amazing, his will, his strength. He's just a human and yet he's able to push me this far. More than that red dragon. More than that red dragon, that talented, what's it called, magician somewhat, that Reyes has, the new red dragon. He can just push me with raw strength himself. Issei Haidu. No, not Issei Haidu. Garou has pushed me this far. This is such a fun battle. That red dragon that I fought was nothing compared to you. No, the power you have is amazing. Fight me more." This is where both of them collide with punches again. This is where, well, Sairaorg was pushed back again in an instant. This is where his face was kind of smashing by a fist, right now pushing him back towards the Sacred Gear. Issei said, "Sairaorg, I, Monster Garou, want you to put on that Sacred Gear. Show me the true power that you contain with your Sacred Gear. I heard that Sacred Gears can bond together, even if you weren't the right owner to even hold that." This is where, well, Issei says, "Tell me, what's the true bond between a Sacred Gear?" "I can never tell you because I sacrificed, or no, I didn't sacrifice. I gave up my Sacred Gear because me and him, or her, or whatever bullcrap they are, never got along with each other. So tell me what is that bonding of that Sacred Gear can feel like?" This is where, well, Sairaorg smiles and then puts on the Sacred Gear. This is where, well, they bond pretty easily because, yes, they have that willpower together. This is where, well, Sairaorg says, "Fine, if you want me to go full power, then I'll fight with full power. And we can bond pretty easily because we have a goal together." This is where, well, mostly the lion did also say, "I will serve Sairaorg no matter what. He was the only one being able to, well, wield me. So, we will show you what the power are, well, what the power of mostly, I forgot Sairaorg's last name, fuck. But it's not Gremory, it's something else, but mostly Sairaorg kind of says his full name, but yeah. Even with the line, but yeah. This is where, well, Issei smiles and says, "Good." This is where, well, Issei, before even going on, he says, "Sairaorg, I'll show you the true power of a monster. Not a human, but a monster. I'll show you that I can just become stronger." This is where Issei shoved his hand into his chest in an instant. This is where, well, everyone widened their eyes. Literally everyone. Even fucking 80 saying, "What the fuck is he doing?" Issei is right now getting out the pieces. Issei decides to go on with a speech. A very powerful, strong speech to show everyone that his power will no longer be rivaled by anyone. He will become a monster.
"Why don't you be the monster? Why don't you be the monster?"
It's not like I didn't want to be the monster. It's because the game itself just felt so incredibly one-sided and unfair. Heroes and Monsters is just a game of pretend based on kids' TV shows. Everyone's free to choose what role they play. But me, I was friendless, always with a dark cloud above. Everyone knew who the hero was going to be. I didn't stand a chance in hell. Naturally, there was no scenario where the monster would ever win. I was always the loser. The popular kid always beats up the little guy that no one likes. That's just the way the world works. Screw justice. And screw evil, too. I'm gonna be killed simply because that's what everyone else wants? It's not fair. I can't stand it.
It pisses me off.
All I want is to make them understand. I'm here to fight for underdogs everywhere. Good, evil. I reject them both.
I reject them both. This is where it well. Issei was kind of like grabbing all his pieces left, but this is where it well. Mostly he then just injected them out of his body when he was about to say what's it called. Mostly, this is where he says,
"Fight for underdogs everywhere. Good, evil.
I reject them both. This is where he screams it out while ripping the 8 evil pieces from his body in an instant, no longer corrupting his body. And this is where, well, his body started being covered up in black, kind of like this black kind of like energy for a second, until he basically became a monster, his monstrous form. Now this monster form, but yeah, kind of this one. Now, of course, it's glowing kind of red, and this is where, well, Issei says, I'll show you that I'll become a strong person. I am a monster, and I will not lose. This is where, well, Sairaorg is widening his eyes. Not everyone in their eyes, because they can feel this power, malicious energy appearing around from Issei's body. Now, of course, when he just throws the evil pieces out of his body, now he crushes those evil pieces when he ripped them out of his body. But this is where, well, Sairaorg and Issei right now rushing each other. Issei right now swings a punch straight towards Sairaorg, and Sairaorg swings a punch towards Issei. Now, when both fists collide, Sairaorg felt like his arm just got like multiple like cuts in them. Like mostly, think of it like what was that one hero, that S-rank hero, like shiny. Fuck, what was his name? I don't remember. But mostly, it's when what's it called? Or, well, not actually being this monster form. Mostly his hair just became fully reddish orange still. And of course his eyes are now more bloodshot red. And this is where, well, Issei right now rushes Sairaorg. And when both punches collide, it basically looked like this. Oh, fuck, I forgot. So this is what it kind of looked like. Mostly think of Black Shine being, what's it called, Sairaorg. Now, of course, this is where Issei also is Garou. But yeah. Now, of course, with that, wait, was I recording? Fuck, I can't, okay, did I already mention this? Fuck, but yeah, he basically looked like this, mostly after the battle between Sairaorg and him, but yeah. But mostly after the whole battle, Issei was kind of now, what's it called? Well, after that punch, this is where Issei was completely different. His eyes were crimson, bloodshot red. Of course, his yellow eyes are kind of like piercing into Sairaorg. I think bluish eyes. I think they're blue. Yeah, I think they're blue. And of course, they're glowing a menacing color. Now, of course, he seems slick also, like if he was a dragon. But he's no longer a dragon. This is where, well, Issei said, "This is what a monster I am." This is where, well, both Sairaorg and Issei right now starts fighting each other in high speed, but Sairaorg is right now losing, much more worse than he expected. But mostly, Issei is completely different, and of course, both of their fights just decide to go insane. With Sairaorg right now feeling like his body is hurting, every punch that he takes from Issei feels like he's getting hit by a semi-truck with like 20 wheels into him, like Chuckun is right now helping Issei or something. When both of them are fighting in an instant and of course like kicking each other's ass, mostly like I just mentioned, Sairaorg, he's landing some good punches, but of course most of like his armor is almost ripped out of him. Now of course when Sairaorg swings a very powerful attack right towards Issei's chest, it felt like Issei's bones had cracked but then regen in an instant. Now the hole that he had mostly already regen already. Even though he no longer has the evil pieces, and yes, he still has Dragon Form, but not the point. He's still at death's door. He's still breaking through his limit. His body, all the tendrils in his body are feeling like they're kind of not wanting to go anymore because they're tense as hell. They're ripping every time Issei moves. But Issei doesn't care because he's also getting regen in an instant, thanks to the monster cells that he has somewhat. This is where, well, Issei right now swings a very powerful punch. Even though Sairaorg hit him right in the chest, Issei punched him right in the face, launching him into mostly a crater that mostly Sairaorg did for Issei when he punches him down to the ground that one time. This is where, Sairaorg gets up, trying to get up, but this is where his mother still kind of is like the whole, when Issei did that whole Opie whatever bullcrap, still kind of like reach his mother reaches and says, fight, do it. This is where, Sairaorg got up and says, I won't lose. Issei says, then too bad. This is where, Issei right now puts his hands into a bluish color, like bluish as he started appearing. And one hand and the other hand was reddish. And Issei said, in a very powerful technique, mostly called flow, but yeah. So the flowing water technique, crushing rock fist, and of course the warping, cutting wind, metal wind or something. I forgot what it's called. But of course he's using both of them at once and swinging them together in front of him, while Sairaorg sends a very powerful punch to end Issei. But of course when both attacks collide, right now Sairaorg was on the ground. This is where, he was on the ground. His armor was all shattered. He had multiple rips and cuts around his body, and also bruises. And this is where Issei is standing in front of him, on top of him, right now being the one victor. This is where Issei grins and says, I guess I was the one to be on top. This is where everyone won their eyes. Everyone just shocked, quiet as hell to see Issei, right now a human, being able to take out the evil pieces and regenerate his body even though he has no magic. But yet, he has such powerful, mostly power, that it shows to everyone that mostly humans are quite dangerous if they just have how much determination, just like Issei, that much determination, which everyone is just shocked, dumbfounded, and scared of mostly Issei. This is where, Issei feeling so weak. He feels like his body's kind of like giving up. But this is where Issei doesn't give up. But he feels like he wants to kind of pass out any time, fall asleep, probably falling into a deep slumber. This is where, mostly they go back to the arena, and of course there's so many devils right now, like devil guards appearing around the arena. This is where Issei grits his teeth and says, you bastards think that you can take me on? I'll kill you on an instant. Issei said without a care in the world. This is where everyone tenses up. Now this is where Sairaorg actually appears, saying, Issei, hi, do. Issei looks at, Sairaorg and says, fuck off, you devil bastard. My name isn't Issei, Hyodo. The name's Garou. This is where, mostly Sairaorg shakes his head and says, no, you're not. Now, stand there quietly, or I will execute you. Everyone was shocked to believe mostly Sairaorg was actually thinking of executing Issei, which Sairaorg isn't going to execute him. You just need to act like a responsible leader. And Issei said, huh? Oh, you're gonna kill me? Wow, that seems too bad for you, doesn't it? Because I was planning to kill your sister in the first place. Oh, I guess you found out my plan. Well, other than that, I'll kill her. Just because I can. I'll kill that damn new red host of a dragon. To show that I am the strong, superior being. That that humans are stronger than those who are demonic, fallen, or even what's it called, angelic. This is where, Sairaorg doesn't know what to do. But this is where, he tells Issei to surrender, or he will destroy him. This is where, Issei grits his teeth and says, me? Die? Then I guess I choose death! Issei rushes towards Sairaorg. Sairaorg went in his eyes, but this is where he needed to activate destruction magic. He's sitting right close range into Issei. Issei gets hit. His body seems to be destroyed in an instant, mostly from his arm before it even hit Sairaorg. But this is where Issei refuses to die. So of course his arm regens back, and Issei literally punched the shit out of Sairaorg. Think of Luffy when he punches that celestial dragon. It was satisfying for most people. Issei says, screw you! Sairaorg was launched into multiple buildings in an instant. Everyone was dumbfounded, shocked, and scared even more. Even after seeing Issei literally regen a limb and punch the shit out of Sairaorg. Issei was not scared one fucking bit at all. He just didn't give a fuck about anything. This is where, Riser saw this and said, yeah, no, fuck no. Hell no. He thought of because he knows that if he tries to fight against Sairaorg and with his regeneration, he probably would have definitely lost that limb. No, Issei's regeneration was much more powerful than not Sairaorg, mostly Arizer. So Arizer says, aha, no, I'm not fighting him, even if I'm a phoenix. I'm gonna just stay over here quiet. This is where, well, everyone was shocked to believe Issei punched the shit out of someone. Someone so powerful, and yet so weak in the face of a monster, a true monster, Issei Hero, or mostly Garou. But this is where Issei felt like his body was weakening more, and this is where, well, mostly a bunch of guards were rushing towards Issei to try to kill him now, because it seems that his body seems to be at the limit. Even Hades was about to jump in, but this is where something on the ground, it started rumbling. Everyone was confused. Issei was confused, but this is where he was grabbed in an instant by a bird. And this is where the ground shatters in an instant, appearing a giant centipede. This centipede says, I will slaughter you! No, just kidding. But really, he just kind of appears right now, making a huge distraction. This centipede was huge as hell, was purple also. So think of that one S ranked, mostly that very dangerous, what was it called? Dragon level threat centipede appearing. So yeah. And also a demon level threat, or mostly also a dragon threat, kind of carrying Issei away. But yeah. This is where, well, the centipede is right now destroying a bunch of people. Angelic, fallen, and even demonic tries to fight against the centipede, but the centipede was more powerful than everyone. Of course, it went back to the ground and disappearing. This is where, well, everyone was shocked and dumbfounded, but this is where, well, we go into Issei appearing in a dark kind of cave. A very dark cave, but it was actually like a tunnel going down somewhere else. This is where Issei sighs and says, what do you want? Issei looks at the bird. The bird says, oh, we're just carrying you towards our faction, mostly that of the monster faction. Issei said, monsters? I see. Well, Issei passes out. This is where the monster says, yeah, you can rest for a bit there, Garou. Monster Garou. Now, everyone was just dumbfounded. After that whole incident situation, everyone was scared for their dear lives. And of course, mostly everyone was praying and telling, mostly giving out some prayers and other stuff, and telling that the grandma, they're fucked in an instant. Very, very fucked. Now, of course, everyone is just saying, yeah, good luck with that. Your freaking son-in-law will come back and beat the fuck out of all of you. But you know what? It's not our fault. We didn't do jack shit. This is where, well, Sairaorg was in the hospital because his face was literally kind of broken. Yeah, that punch hurt like hell. But he was also shocked to see a giant centipede appear. But yeah, and also a bird taking Issei away. Now, he doesn't even know what the hell happened. He didn't actually expect Issei to have allies, which he doesn't. He's supposed to be solo. But Issei has now allies now. And that is a monster faction actually appearing once again in this world. But yeah. Now, we go into Issei's mindscape. Or not even mindscape. It's somewhat his mindscape, but at the same time a dreamland. This is where, well, Issei says, where am I? This isn't my mindscape. God, where are you? This is where he's looking around, but he remembers Garou actually did fuse with him so he could get the regeneration body, the monster cells, and other stuff to his body. After training like hell for 1 month. This is where, well, Issei looks around until he sees a giant, and I mean huge ass western red dragon. This is none other than Great Red. Issei says, what the fuck? Who the hell are you? Great Red looks down at him with his golden slick eyes and says, oh, you're Garou, aren't you? This is where Issei sighs and says, huh, and what the fuck do you want from me? Oh, nothing. All I want is to give you a bit of my power. Actually, yes, a bit of my power. For the fact that I see so much potential in your body, you can grow into infinite power. And I only give you... Oh, yeah, I will let you this power. This is where, well, he said, well, I don't need your stupid power. I'll do it all on my own. I'll become the greatest monster. I'll become the fear of everything. This is where, well, the dragon pouts at Issei and says, no, Issei, don't do that. I'm literally a nice dragon. I'm Great Red. Mostly, yes, this is Great Red, and he's kind of pouting like a child, someone. And of course, this is where he says, I just want to give you a bit of my power. I did notice that you also gave your power away, the sacred gear, we'll see Drake away, or female Drake, away towards another person, which is quite dangerous for you. You could have died, but yet you didn't care. Instead, you're surviving in thin air, and yet you still have Dragon's Fall. I'm willing to give you some of my power, so I can see you grow more instead of dying here with Dragon's Fall. Issei chuckles and says, I don't need help. This is where, well, Issei said, now, if you don't mind me, how the hell do I escape? Out of this goddamn place. I need to go back. I need to train. I need to become stronger. I will not fail towards anyone. Great Red sighs, but this is where something actually, mostly, Great Red kind of just sighs and says, damn you. Well, I guess I'm going to do this the hard way. You're going to take my power one way or another. This is where he says, and how you're gonna. This is where Great Red sent a goldenish ball straight towards Issei, but Issei managed to dodge and says, "No, no, you don't." This is where, well, the ball, mostly the golden ball, chases Issei the whole damn time for like at least 1 hour in this dimension place. It's none other than the dimensional gap, but yeah, Issei's managing to run in thin air. He's right now saying, "No, fuck you, fuck you." This is where, well, Great Red says, "Just take the damn power, brat." This is where, well, mostly Great Red's getting annoyed, but this is where Issei said, "Fine. I'll take your damn power, but I won't use it." This is where Great Red says, I won't have it any other way for my new host. Great Red kind of smiles. Now, this is where before Issei decides to just take the power, he was about to like get teleported, but this is where something happens. A dark energy actually appears right now, grabbing Issei and teleporting him somewhere else, before even Great Red even noticed. Of course, Great Red is right now kind of unconscious in the dimensional gap, but yeah. Because he got his mostly body into Issei, but yeah, mostly some power. And it wasn't just a bit of power, it was pretty much a lot. But not a lot, but yeah, enough to just beat the shit of not Sairaorg, but Sairaorg and everyone else into commission, but not the point. But mostly when he was inside of Issei's body, they got teleported and into somewhere else. And that was none other than a black void, but seeing a giant Western black dragon with mostly mostly black scales, but also red kind of eyes, like crimson red eyes. This is where, well, mostly the person snores and says, you must be Garou. This is where he says, why is so many damn dragons annoying me in one fucking day? Who the hell are you? What the hell do you want? Do you want to give me your bit of power or whatever? This is where the person chuckles and says, no, but I did notice that you were talking to Great Red, mostly Great Red Baka, as like, well, mostly Orphans like to call him. This is where, well, mostly the gauntlet, actually in his left hand, mostly Issei's left hand, a gauntlet appears, being actually a red scale, mostly a crimson red scale kind of gauntlet appears, with also mostly the gems being gold. And this is where mostly Great Red says, what? How are you alive? He screams out towards the giant dragon that's in front of them now. This is where, well, he screams out the name, mostly. This is where he says, Shometsu, how are you alive? This is where, well, Shometsu chuckles and says, hello there, Great Red Baka. This is where, well, Great Red just grumbles and says, what the hell do you want, you bastard? If you are trying to take my host, he's my host. This is where Great Red kind of argue with mostly Shoma. This is where Shoma says, oh, is he? Well, that's too bad, because I'm actually going to give him all my power into him, because I want to escape from this fucking black void. I can see that he can actually contain my power much easier. This is where, well, than anyone else. Great Red says, screw up, bastard. I wanted to explore the world, not have another dragon with me. This is where, well, mostly Shoma says, too bad. So, Garou, I am the Dragon of Annihilation. One of the 5, well, mostly dragons or dragon gods of, well, yeah, 5, well, out of the 5 dragon gods, I am the Dragon of Annihilation. And like you just met, Great Red is the dragon of mostly apocalypse and dreams or whatever. You probably also met Orpheus, and Orpheus is the dragon of infamy. There's also another dragon. We don't count him as a dragon somewhat. He's the Apocalypse 666 or something like that. I don't remember. But yeah, Tricycle 666. That's what they kind of call him or whatever. This is where, well, Issei says, you said there was 5. Who's the 5th one? Oh, you will meet him later. But for now, I am willing to give you all my power in 2 conditions. What is that? You first beat the shit out of the 3 factions, give them a fucking reality check. Because I see how arrogant they are. And Great Red or Orpheus hasn't done shit. Actually, Orpheus has done some stuff, but not the point. I want you to give them a fucking reality check to wake them the fuck up. Okay? And the second option, you get the power to turn anyone into a dragon. Because I can see the dragons are kind of dingling down, or kind of going down. And I will get rid of the dragon's fall. Actually, Great Red already did that. Or, well, he hasn't did that. He is waiting for you to mate with someone else, probably. But I will get rid of it for you. He says, nah, I don't really care. Actually, it will help me get through death much easier if you think of it like that. Sure, I'll give... do you want me to get rid of it or not? Because your lifespan should have died a while ago. Fine, get rid of it, Issei said with such an annoyed tone because he wants to get out of here already. This is where, well, Shamba says, okay. This is where, well, he turns into a red orb, floats towards Issei, and of course, mostly his right arm actually appears a black gauntlet that also reaches all the way to his shoulder. And of course, the gem is crimson red, but yeah. This is where Issei said, he then gets teleported and leaves, but not until he gets teleported to somewhere else, which Issei already had a fucking enough and says, what dragon is this time? The Infinite Dragon? Fuck you, Orpheus! This is where it's not Orpheus, instead it's purple, well, mostly this dragon is, it's dark gray scales with purple wings and purplish eyes, and this is where, well, the dragon opens his eyes and says, right, the Annihilation Dragon already told you something about this. Yes, I am the 5th dragon. My name is, well, my name is Aichu, the Abyss, well, mostly the dragon of the dark, mostly vortex abyss. This is where, well, he says that, okay, what do you want? I'm just gonna give you some of my power. Actually, no, I just give it also because I also want to leave from this place. Goddamn God is nothing but a fucking pain most of the time. He catch me lacking when I was trying to sleep. He says that fine. This is where, well, mostly a purple orb went into Issei, and this is where wings actually spread out from its back. Similar to that of like Albion's, but instead of being like one wing, like one like bluish wing, it's like 3 wings actually appear, purplish wings. Issei said, now what am I? Well, this is where mostly the Abyss, not the Abyss Dragon. The Abyss Dragon just went to sleep. He just didn't care. He just kind of let Issei do whatever with his powers. Now, of course, where, well, the Annihilation Dragon says, so, let's say, you're 50% dragon now. You're also, well, not 50% dragon. You're 50% dragon and, 50% monster / human. That's what you are on the other side. Okay. Have you also got rid of Dragonfall? Yeah, I did. But now your potential can increase much more further than anything. You can train like hell and you will become the strongest. Fine. This is where Issei said with such an annoyed tone, but of course this is where they disappear, going back towards mostly the monster kind of hideout. This is where Issei said, where the hell am I? This is where the bird appears saying, hello there. My name is, I don't remember his name. I don't think he even had a name. He probably did, but I can't remember. This is where, well, he says, and welcome to the monster faction territory. Issei says, that's a fucking thing? I've just been saying it because I actually just wanted to be a monster. This is where, well, the person smiles and says, well, follow me then. Or somewhat smiles. This is where, well, we go into Issei following and seeing the Monster King himself. Well, the Monster King from One Punch Man, but yeah. This is where Issei says, goddamn, he is huge. Actually, I don't even care about this whole faction. So, I should probably be leaving. This is where, well, mostly the monsters kind of are, like, there's a bunch of monsters being, like, tiger level, mostly demon level, dragon level, or whatever, etc., etc. You get the point. But for right now, I'm thinking of leaving it off here for part 1 of this What If. I might continue it on later on. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe I'll redo it because I probably fucked it up in multiple things. And other than that, bye, see you, and yeah.